Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids. In today's video, we're gonna have a little bit of fun because there are seven. That's right, 7 levels of player in Raid Shadow Legends, and I'm gonna actually reference them to the game from commons to uncommons, all the way up to mythicals. What level player are you? Where do you think you're gonna fall? Well, let's dive in. Let's find out. We're just gonna have a little bit of fun with this one. So let's go with the level 1 player. This is the common. This is actually, I think a lot of players, probably most players, fall into this level 1 category, which I'm gonna call, I'm using my phone for notes, by the way, through this video. This is not high production, it's just a bit of fun. This is the toe dipper. This is the player that, you know, that maybe they've never heard of Raid Shadow Legends before. They see an ad for the game and they say, oh, that looks pretty fun, I guess I'll give it a go. Or maybe they've seen so many ads for Raid Shadow Legends and all the memes, but eventually one day one of them just hits them in a certain way, or catches them in a certain mood, and they go, maybe it's not that bad, I guess I'll give it a go. And they install the game, they play for a couple of hours, give it a go, and then either it's not really gelling with them, it's not really sucking them in, they're not into the turn-based stuff or the collecting, or else maybe they are enjoying it, but they just sort of get distracted by something else in life and just forget about it and move on, and these players just end up not playing past that first initial hour or two, if even that. The toe dipper. I think a huge amount of people end up here. It's like, you know, all those games that you purchased in your Steam library or on your PlayStation Store or whatever, you pick them up on sale, like, yeah, I can't wait to play these games, and you never play them. Yeah, it's probably over half at least of the players playing it are this common level. So yeah, get the game, but probably just forget about it. Then we've got level 2. These are the uncommons. This guy, by the way, has a weirdly detailed face. He must be based off someone, I don't know. I call this level 2, the smart ones. This is the player, they're dipping their toes in, but they're making more of an effort to go for the game. They're more of a gamer than the toe dipper level 1. They're saying, you know what, I'm going to give this a proper go. I'm gonna have a proper try of this. So they're trying to do the tutorial. They're trying to get through the game. They're trying to make progress and actually engage with the game. Maybe they play for a few different days. Maybe they even grab some promo codes, pop them in, get some rewards. But what happens to this level 2 player is after they're playing for a little bit, they get past that initial glitz and glamour of all the new stuff popping up, and then they get to the point of the game where they start getting, either they go, how do I get my champion up to 6 stars? What do I have to do? Wait, I just have to grind this campaign thing over and over again? Or they run out of silver and they go, how do I upgrade my gear? Oh, I've got to grind for silver over and over again. Or they come in and they start getting all these pop-up offers and they go, oh, it's that kind of game, huh? And then they put the game down. They don't like the grind, they don't like the monetization. Yeah, they don't like the stuff that most of the following levels of players either accept or come to tolerate, and they leave the game. So I call them the smart ones. So yeah, they give it a go for a couple of days. Yeah, I mean, they might even get a legendary, might keep them going a little while longer. It might be a cool legendary, like they go, oh, cool, Ezio's in the game, Assassin's Creed. Yeah, I do want to get him. They might do a few days and go, actually, do I care about Ezio that much? I don't think this game is for me. Yeah, they're gone. Ash level 2. Level 3. The rares. Oh, let's throw up Dened the Tusk Knight. Why the hell not? I call this tier the super casuals, or even the uber casuals, you could say. So this one, these are the players that aren't putting the game down after a couple of days. They're players who keep on playing. They keep on engaging with the game, but it's super random, right? They're not logging in every single day. They might log in for like 2 or 3 days in a row, and then kind of forget about the game for a couple of weeks, come back for a day, forget about it for 2 days, come back in for 5 days in a row, really have a good go, get distracted again, that sort of thing, right? They're playing, but it's really, you know, whenever they feel like it. They don't really have a strong habit or anything formed around the game. This is the sort of player, though, that will love login champions and will probably make a bit of an effort to get in and actually get the login champ, but they might not clear the whole new champion chase thing to get the 5-star soul. That's probably a bit too much consistency required, but they'll get that new champion and they will love it. This sort of player might see a fusion, especially an event fusion, like Cassandra, for example, we just had from Assassin's Creed, go, oh, that's really cool. Yeah, I'd love to go get it. And then they come back a couple of days later and they realize that they've missed half the events and they can't do it. Or they go, wow, I tried to do this dungeon event and I didn't even get to the first milestone in the tournament. This fusion thing is just impossible. This is where the level 3, the super casual player, is going to be. They might have some gear on their champions. They might not. It's a sort of player that will have defense gloves, flat defense gloves on their Kale, but they're like, oh, but it's an offense set, so it's pretty good, right? If you ask this player, have they rolled their gear up? Have they upgraded their gear? They might have forgotten that that was even part of the game in the first place. Yeah, they're probably just farming like level 8 of Dragon over and over again, or some really low level dungeon because it's what they can clear. So that's probably where they should be in farming, right? I guess so. Why not? And yeah, they also might have tried a few other areas in the game and just said, well, they're too hard. They just get wrecked and then they never go back. And maybe a new area opens up and they go, oh, well, I mean, I couldn't beat those previous areas and I'm still working here on my dragon thing. I'm not even going to try out this new area that's opened up. We can kind of forget about that. So yeah, that's where the super casual player ends up. And there's definitely a few of them. Now, level 4. Ooh, we're getting up to the epics. Oh my, the epic. Let's go. Oh, Stag Knight. Iconic. Iconic. Level 4 is the casual player. So this player is probably playing more days than they're not playing, right? They're playing pretty often, but they're not going to be playing every day. You know, they might easily miss playing over the weekend, and it doesn't really bother them. They don't even really notice. They're pretty casual, right? But they are going to be playing a good few days every now and then. And this is the level where these players are going to start looking up guides. How do I build this champion? Am I actually supposed to beat this dungeon boss? What's going on? Why are people using those champions on those teams? This player might start saving up some shards for shard events. Equally, they might start to just be pulling shards whenever they have them, not really caring, but they will start to actually get some cool epics, maybe some legendaries as well. They can probably actually do some events, at least get somewhere in the events. This player, some of them might even complete a fusion or make a good stab of it at least. And yeah, I think one of the key aspects of this level 4, the casual player, is really that they are starting to make proper teams. I think before this, like the super casual, the uber casual, those players, they're just going to put in, you know, their top rarity champions because, I mean, they've got the coolest borders, they're the highest rarity, they must be the best, right? When it gets to the casual player, this is the level where the player starts going, actually, instead of throwing in all of my legendaries, maybe actually this Apothecary, or hey, this Stag Knight, or this Ugo, maybe they make more sense. And yeah, they're starting to really piece together teams and actually start to build stuff and dive into the game. The level 5 player then, the regular legendary. Oh, let's bring up your boy Michelangelo, the most Bannerlord of Bannerlords, obviously. These are the engaged players. This is probably now a pretty big chunk of you guys. I think this is where the viewers of this video is where you're going to drop in. These are the engaged players. These are the players that are playing daily at this point. You might miss an odd day here or there, but you're logging in most days at this stage and forming a pretty strong habit. These players are definitely looking up guides. How do I build champions? How do I beat bosses? It's really essential at this point, which is actually quite an interesting thing about Raid Shadow Legends. Like, it's so ridiculously hard. If you try to play this game without any input from other players at all, how insanely hard would that be? How many people will come up with an unkillable clan boss tune, for example, without help on the internet? Yeah, I don't know. At this level 5, the engaged player, they actually might be using some tools now at this point as well. Not just using guides, but they might actually be doing stuff like using a mercy tracker, perhaps. They might give the Hell Hades optimizer a go or something like that. Now, this player is starting to be a bit more serious. They might use a fusion tracker on a website, something like that. Some of them certainly getting a bit more serious, putting in a bit more work there for sure. This is the player, the engaged player. This is the player who's doing fusions, and they're actually looking ahead and planning ahead. They know what you need to do a fusion, or at least they've got a pretty good idea. Certainly some of them will have absolutely completed many fusions. And yeah, you'll be planning ahead, saving shards, conserving resources, thinking about how to develop your account. And also, again, you're really very much invested now into building smart teams for basically any area in the game. This engaged player, this is a player, they're playing every day, they're looking up guides. You know, a new area of content opens up, like whatever, Hydra Boss opens up. I'm sure they're well past it at this point, but anywhere new opens up, they're not freaking out, they're not panicked. They know exactly what to do. They're looking up guides, they're putting together smart team comps based off what other people are doing or based off their own experience in the game, and they're making good, solid, consistent, steady progress. Many players will actually just finish at this level. They won't go any further. You could be at this level for years and just slowly and steadily progress through the game, having a great time. Probably a bunch of you are at this level. You're like, yeah, looking at guides, have a good idea for what's going on, but not taking stuff too seriously, but getting through the content and collecting champions and actually engaging with most of the systems, maybe not all, but most of the systems in the game. Then level 6, the Void Legendary. Let's bring up Taurus. I mean, it kind of has to be Taurus, right? The Void Legendary, level 6. This is the hardcore player. This is where now everything must be optimized, okay? This is the sort of player that is logging in every single day. If this player misses a day, this is not something like, oh, I didn't play the last couple of days, no big deal. I didn't play the last couple of days, I'm falling behind. What have I missed? Am I screwed for any of these events, the fusions? I can't believe I missed those days. I don't care that I'm on holiday. I'm logging in to grab my clan boss shards. It's happening. You're not stopping me, family. Get out of here. The hardcore players, level 6, this is the sort of player where if you tell them, hey, I built a spreadsheet breaking down different shard rates for this game or how these champions work or anything like that, you'll say it to them. And the hardcore player will say, oh yeah, that's cool. Can I see that? That's a great idea. That's a good way to spend your time. They don't even blink, right? It's just accepted. Yeah, fantastic. Great. This hardcore player... probably trying to max out either two different ways. You could be like the free to play, or you could be the spender. Now, the bigger spender here in the game at this point, the hardcore, you're probably trying to do pretty much every event, try to really max out. You're not progressive shard events or anything like that, but you're probably trying to get like all the guaranteed champions, the fusions. You're probably trying to complete every single Titan event as well, making good progress into everything. Now, the free to play version of that, obviously you can't do everything. But this player, my gosh, they're going to be engaged and they're going to be very calculating. Is it worth doing this fusion? Is it worth doing this Titan event? How many shards will it cost me? What's it going to cost me moving forwards? Planning it out, having a plan, a strict plan that they're going to stick to and adhere to. They're not YOLOing shards, at least not often YOLOing shards for fun. Those shards are crucial for min-maxing the progress of your account and completing these events. This is the sort of player that will look at a CVC score or Hydra Clash or something like that and will scroll to the bottom and will be disgusted at the performance of their lower level clanmates. Not all of them. Some of you might be nice, but this is the point where you start going like, clan leader. Or we got... I know we've got a 200k requirement for CVC. What about Johnny over here has only done 20k? I think we should get rid of him. He's holding me back. At this point, obviously, tracking your shard mercy, that's a given, right? Most people are going to be doing that. Alternatively, something that you do see, a variant here of the level 6, the hardcore player, the Void Legend, a variant of that is they're not actually tracking shard mercy because obviously shards are not meant to be pulled. Shards are to be stockpiled. That's what the game's... It's not about collecting champions. It's about having 50, maybe 100 sacred shards in that portal over there. That's where they belong. That's where they should be. What if I need 100 sacred shards for an event next week? I need to be prepared. Those sacred shards aren't going anywhere, and neither are any of my other shards either, or my soul stones, or my silver. In fact, I'm going to stockpile everything. Everything must be conserved at all costs. That's one big variant of the level 6 hardcore player. This player can also probably name at least all the meta champions in the game and probably knows what their skills are. It's probably a little bit frightening when you think about it, the sheer amount of information and knowledge that's percolating around in your brain instead of other stuff that could be in there at this point. At this point as well, I think it's also fair to say Raid has become, if not a full-time job, certainly at least a part-time job. And you might question yourself, wait, why am I doing this? I'm not getting paid. What is going on? That's the level 6 player. But there is one player, one type of player, a couple of variants of them to be fair, that is above this. More hardcore than the level 6 hardcore player. More intense than the Void Legendary. This is level 7, the ultimate level for a Raid player. I call this the Ascended level. There are two main types of this. Two main types. And the first type actually is two subtypes as well. Because nothing is simple at this stage. We've reached a higher plane of existence. The first type here, the subtypes, are either a driver or you're a multi-boxer. Okay? For this player, if Raid at level 6 is perhaps equaling a full-time job, certainly a part-time job at the very least, well, for this level 7 Ascended player, not enough. Why play one Raid account when you can play 2 or 3 or possibly even more? That's right, this is the player who has their main full account, but also has a free-to-play account, or also has a big spender account. Or they're driving stuff. They say, well, I beat Hydra this week. Fanmates, how are you doing? How about I play Hydra for you guys as well? How about I pilot your accounts for Live Arena? This player, one account's not enough for the Ascended player. One is not enough. They need more. They need more. As many accounts as they can possibly squeeze in. That's the first type. Now, the other type, it's kind of the flip side. It's almost the inverse, but it's equally a level 7 Raid player. It's equally an Ascended level Void Mythical here. And this is not the driver. This is the drivee? The driven? I don't know. What's the word for it? The drivee. This is the player that they've passed through. Well, they might not even have passed through the other stages, to be honest, but they've passed through a few of the other stages. Maybe they passed through all of them. They've been at level 6 before. Maybe they only ever got to level 4 or 5. It's also possible as well. But this player has now reached the pinnacle of the game because they have realized that being a true gamer, the key to being the ultimate gamer is this. Why play the game when you can get someone else to play it for you? Excellent. You don't even need to play Live Arena. You don't need to lift a finger. You can step back, pay someone else to play your account, and watch all the accolades roll in. See all the medals. You just keep giving the cash, and you're like the best player in the entire game. That's the level. That's level 7. That is Ascended. The maximum level. Not even a single finger lifted, and they're destroying everyone in the game. Tremble before them, mortals, and despair. And there you go. They are the 7 different levels of Raid player. Where do you fall? Have you seen these different levels of player? I had a bit of fun. It's all just a bit of fun. It's a bit lighthearted. Where do you fall in this? I'm a level 6, to be honest. Level 7's a step too far for me, but I don't know. Maybe you're deep into level 7. I don't know. Maybe you're a mere level 2 or 3 looking at this going, what is wrong with these people? They're crazy. But there you go. The 7 levels of Raid player. Let me know what you think. I had a bit of fun. Thanks for watching. Tell me what you thought. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.